Okay, this is the final video follow-up for the 2013 Fall Beginner Guitar class, and so I'm just going to run through some of the new concepts that we talked about last night, Tuesday evening. So we learned about fingerstyle guitar playing, and what we want to remember is that for our right hand, we refer to our fingers as the following. Thumb is P, index is I, M is for middle, and then A is actually for our ring finger. So it's P, I, M, A. And pinky finger does not get used, remember, just due to the kind of the short length of our pinky finger and the proper sitting or kind of resting position for the right hand. It actually isn't going to be able to reach the string, so it should be free floating. So kind of get your hand into home base position. You're going to put your thumb on the top string, so the big E, index on the G string, middle finger on the B string, ring finger on the little E string. Okay, so this is what I call home base position with a lot of my students. And just as a general rule, thumb is responsible for the top three strings, big E, A, and D, and then index, middle, and ring, I, M, and A, are responsible for those bottom three strings, and they just stay right on those strings. So once we're set, we want to have kind of a nice arced up hand position. Should look like that, so there's plenty of room to pluck and follow through. So no resting the hand on the wood of the guitar. That causes for us to pull up like this and have a really shallow pluck. That doesn't produce a lot of tone or volume. We also don't want to rest pinky on the guitar. That locks up muscles in our forearm. Remember, our pinky and ring finger are connected. As you move one, the other moves as well. So by locking muscles up with the pinky, you actually limit mobility in the ring finger. So once we're all set, we've got our hand in home base position. The thumb you want to have out in its own space so that when you pluck, it stays outside of the other fingers. You don't want to pluck behind the fingers. And then one last thing with the thumb is you want to keep the tip joint, kind of your inner knuckle, completely locked at all times. So you're moving from the muscle in your palm here. That's how we move the thumb when we pluck notes. So I'm going to go ahead and pluck the E string here, A string, D string. So thumb should easily be able to pluck the top three strings while still keeping I, M, and A on the bottom three strings. Okay. Notice how my thumb stays outside of the other fingers, stays locked at that inner tip joint. Okay? Then for our other fingers, if I'm going to pluck I, should look like that. Here's kind of a view from underneath. See how I'm coming up? It's kind of like when I pluck, I go towards the bottom part of my palm for each finger. It's kind of like this idea if you were to do a one-handed clap. Not that anyone actually does that, but if you were to, that's the movement that we want to have with our I, M, and A fingers as we play. Okay? So those are kind of the primary techniques that you want to try to master and think about as you're playing. If you do all that, you should be able to feel nice and relaxed because you don't want any tension in your hand. And again, you want to have that high arch in the wrist, at least high enough, so that there's room to pluck. So if you keep all that in mind, you should be well on your way to having good fingerstyle technique. So the patterns we ran through last night look like this: P, I, M, A, M, I. Sounds like the beginning of that one Metallica song. I believe we tried one where we go P, I, M, I, M, A, M. That's 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. there's all kinds of combinations you could come up with. I could go P-A-M-I-M-A-M. I mean, really, experiment at home. You're going to be, generally speaking, in multiples of 2. So either a 6-note pattern like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. P-M-I-M-A-M. So you can come up with as many combinations of 6 as you can. Or come up with a combination of 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Really doesn't matter. You'll experience different kind of tones by trying different patterns out, and really it comes down to that, just experimenting. You can also pluck multiple strings at the same time, so here's kind of a short example of that. I'm going to go P, I, M, A together. So that's 1, 2, 3. I can repeat both fingers again for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going P, I, M and A together, and then M and A together again. So just have fun with that, experiment around. You can certainly apply your finger picking patterns to chords. The only thing you really need to remember with that is your thumb is going to move to whatever string the root note's on. So if I'm strumming a G chord, root note's on the top string. C chord, root note's on the 5th string. If I'm doing a D chord, root note's on the D string. So my thumb, you'll notice, is moving with the chords, whatever chord I go to play the root note on that string. I, M, and A just stay on those same bottom 3 the whole time. Okay? So that's your fingerstyle playing. Have fun with that. It's definitely a great technique to get into. Now let's review quickly the blues shuffle that we learned last night. So the handout, I believe it was called Midnight Drive or Smithfield Boogie, something like that. It's from a little blues book I've got. And really all you need to remember is that your pointer finger goes on 2nd fret, and the shuffle takes you to your ring finger. That's then going to come down on the 4th fret. So measure 1, since we're in the key of A, uses the open A string plus the pointer finger on 2nd fret of the D string. Again, you want to be right behind the fret wire. It's actually a little power chord is what it is, and so I'm just strumming those 2 strings, A and D. In the music we have in the tablature on the handout I gave you, you'll see that there's 2 plucks, and then ring finger comes down, pluck that twice, and then back to pointer, then back to ring. The strumming for this is kind of this bluesy swing feel where you play the first note a little bit longer and the second note a little bit shorter with the strumming. So check this out. What you're hearing is long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, as opposed to making them even. The rhythm here is 8th notes, so to play it, straight feel as we call it, or as we would normally see it on sheet music, it would sound like this. And of course we would be counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Sounds fine, I mean that works for some songs, but really most blues is swing feel and it sounds cooler. Just a little more relaxed feel to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay? So then as you read through the music, you'll notice that you don't really ever have to change frets, you just have to change strings. So first measure was those 2 strings. Second measure, just hop down a string set, and now you're playing D, open, with the pointer finger on 2nd fret of the G string. And then you add in your swing feel with the shuffle, then you're back to A on measure 3. Another measure of A shuffle. Now you should be at the 2nd line, back to D. Back up to A. And again, again, I'm only plucking 2 strings at a time with the right hand. Last line brings us up to an E shuffle, so open E and 2nd fret on A string for pointer finger, plus the ring. Then I'm going to cross down 2 string sets back to the D shuffle. And then back to A. Okay, I don't have the sheet music in front of me, but the last measure is probably some kind of an E chord shuffle or like an E power chord that drives you back into the top of the piece and restarts the 12-bar blues shuffle. So what's cool about blues is that when you start to speed it up, it turns into rock and roll. So again, that really slow, relaxed blues feel sounds like this. If I start to go a little faster, you can already hear where the energy is different. Now even faster than that. Now really fast. You can get all kinds of cool different tones and kind of vibes just by speeding the same shuffle idea up or slowing it down. Last trick with the shuffle is instead of just alternating pointer to ring finger, like this, I can put pinky finger down, 5th fret, and then go back to ring finger, and that'll make a full measure. So it'll look like this: pointer, ring, pinky, ring. So it looks like that. I'm going to play through the whole Midnight Drive, Smithfield Boogie, whatever the name of that little 12-bar tune is. It doesn't matter what the name is, because all it is just 12-bar blues in A, and I'm going to do it with the extra pinky in. I'm going to do it at a fairly quick speed too, just kind of for the fun of, and you can hear what this is going to sound like. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, and then of course there was that pentatonic scale we learned. And that's where a lot of our cool blues licks come from. So that's also a great scale to have down if you're working on learning blues. And as you know, if you're getting together with a friend to jam out, one person can be playing that 12-bar blues shuffle, and then you can be jamming out notes on that pentatonic scale. Okay, that's it for now. Again, it was great having everyone in the class. I think everyone did a wonderful job. Keep up the practice. Have fun with these new concepts. Enjoy the holidays. Happy playing. God bless.